Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Dan Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let's get started with tonight's review of NXT. First and foremost, we opened up the show with not a dull moment with Jada Parker, everyone's favorite woman besides Lola Vice and, well, who else is everyone's favorite female wrestler in NXT right now? Stephanie Vaquer was everyone's favorite until she got drafted. I still think it's a miracle that JC Jane defeated her. She needed help from her fatal influence, just like she needed help in her fatal influence to ruin the contract signing for Mariah May, now known as Blake Monroe. And of course, Blake Monroe wasted little time being in a non-PG form, claiming that she can't wait to hop in bed with all the other female wrestlers of NXT. Metaphorically saying she can't wait to get in the ring. But you know how Mariah May is. If you've seen her on social media or any community posts, you know that some of her attires and things are not that PG. Of course, I forgot what that hat was she wore. She wore a skull cap once, and it said some things that weren't very PG. But moving forward, speaking of the women, we opened up the show with Jada Parker taking on Thea Hale, and Thea Hale wasted little time attacking her. We even saw this whole match. Let me explain. This whole match gave me Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar vibes at SummerSlam 2015. Not because the match was as good as theirs. Obviously, I would not dare say that because their match at SummerSlam 2015 was awesome to me. However, despite the controversial ending, but I'm glad The Undertaker, one of my all-time favorites, got a win. However, the reason this match reminded me a little bit of that match was because Jada Parker couldn't get her entrance in without being attacked by Thea Hale, just like Undertaker could barely finish his entrance before getting attacked by Brock Lesnar. Then Thea Hale put the Kimura lock on Jada Parker, just like Brock Lesnar put the Kimura lock, who Brock Lesnar is the originator of the Kimura lock, by the way. Brock Lesnar put the Kimura lock on The Undertaker. The Undertaker tapped out where the referee couldn't see. Jada Parker tapped out where the referee couldn't see. They both assumed they won when they didn't win, and the referee told them that the match wasn't over. The Undertaker attacks Brock just like Jada attacked Thea and wins the match. So that match reminded me of The Undertaker versus Brock. Not because their match was as epic as Brock, but because of the energy that and all the things that happened in that match. In other news, Lash Legend is going home. She is going to also, fellow Georgian, myself, Lash Legend will be going to the Fatal 4-Way match next week after getting a hard-fought victory against Kalani Jordan. So we also have Zarya versus... Sorry, loud music outside. Zarya took on... Who did Zarya take on? Izzy Dame. And Izzy Dame was successful. Then we had another hard-fought match between Lola Vice and Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace changed her theme song, by the way. Now, I have to be very honest with you. This was a match where I had no predictions because you have Lola Vice, who is another one of everybody's favorite in NXT, especially the guys. She has great MMA skills. Jordynne Grace has great strength skills. So you have great MMA versus strength. Tonight, strength won. MMA almost won, but strength won this time. And now we have Jordynne Grace versus Jordynne versus Jada versus Lash Legend versus Izzy Dane. Izzy, whatever the helicopter her name is. Next week. And my prediction will be between Jada Parker and Lash Legend, because obviously it would be great to see Lash Legend having some legendary moments in Atlanta, seeing as how Lash is from Atlanta, former hometown of mine, myself. Now, going forward, we had a 6-man trio match between Josh Briggs and his tag team partner, with Elijah, formerly known as Elijah, versus First Class, aka Top Dollar. Notice how Corey Graves actually said Top Dollar. Vic Joseph said Bottom Dollar. We all thought Top Dollar was going to embarrass himself with that run and dive again. We're still not over that, by the way. We're still not over that. And we will never be over that because Top Dollar made a total fool out of himself. And he learned from his mistakes, obviously, and he will never do a dive again. I laugh just thinking about it. Of course, Top Dollar would face align himself with Wesley and Trick Williams. And of course, Trick Williams was pinned by one of the by the Japanese star. And just to show how kind he is, he gave his championship opportunity to Josh Briggs. I wanted to make sure I didn't get him confused with Jensen. But Josh Briggs will be facing off against Trick Williams for the championship next week at NXT. We also had great to see Obafemi backstage. Ricky Saints is getting his voice back. And by the way, Javon Evans really needs something to do with himself. There's an old saying, an idle life is some saying about idle time does the devil's work, something like that. I don't know if I necessarily believe that saying, but in any event, Javon Evans needs something safe to do because he almost died backstage. I just want you guys to know Javon Evans almost died backstage tonight because Jasmine Troy was about to kill him. I don't know what kept Jasmine Troy from darn near murdering Javon Evans. But Javon Evans really needs to find something safe to do with his time before he gets himself hurt because he almost died tonight. But in the meantime, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of tonight's episode of NXT? I'm your host, Daniel Cody. I can't wait to see Ricky Saints kick Ethan Page's butt. I was not expecting Blake Monroe's early debut to be ruined so disastrously by Toxic Attraction, but it happens. See you next time, everyone.